Welcome back, everyone, to Midnight Screening. I am your host, Nathan. Needs a username laying. With me, as always, I've got my good friend Ty Hennessy.
Sup?
And unfortunately, Josh K is not with us. By which I mean,
Unfortunately?
he's not on the episode. He is alive. Um,
Oh.
he is just busy. But we do have a great replacement. For 1 week only. But he can come back if he wants, if he's not too mad at me for making him watch this movie. It's YouTuber and streamer VRStuz.
I got it. I don't know what to say.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
Okay, great. We're going somewhere.
Right. Yeah, as you all know, in last episode we introduced our vote between 13 Ghosts and Fear.com. 13 Ghosts won. We're talking about 13 Ghosts. A margin of 70%, 70 to 30. That surprised me a little bit. That was a runaway victory for 13 Ghosts.
Yeah, it's almost like people actually like this movie.
Or want us to suffer.
Well, we found out the answer, so.
To be fair, I rigged this one that we were suffering regardless.
Oh, wow, okay. So they put. We either
I
suffer.
think Fear.com was the worst movie. Like,
but clearly not if this won.
yeah, we're talking 13 Ghosts, 2001, directed by Steve Beck. I've started quite a lot of these episodes by pretending to apologize. But this time round, legit apology to Stuz here. Stuz was not supposed to be on this episode. He kindly filled in for Josh.
Oh man.
Yes, sorry about that, bro.
Like people use me. They need me when they need me.
Stuz pointed out before we started recording, we haven't like hung out in a while now. We're real life friends, but outside of like me making fun of him in his Twitch chat, we haven't hung out in a little bit. And the first favor I asked him in about 2 years.
Watch this bad movie.
Yeah.
And tell me how you feel about it. It's you know what? I'm doing nothing, so might as well.
So if you ever want to know what it's like being friends with Nathan Needs a Username, that's what I make you do.
Yep.
Yeah, Ty, you know better than anyone.
Yep.
Ty, the only other person now to have been on every midnight screening, and he keeps showing up.
I mean,
You must love these movies.
apparently, yeah. Apparently, I'm a glutton for punishment.
See, that's it. Every now and then
You're a
I'll let him
masochist.
watch Die Hard. So
That's his payment.
I think I'm just one of those opinionated assholes that go, no, everyone should hear my opinion, and I will not hear a retort. Ha!
And that's great because it's just the three of us, so no one can talk about this.
Josh isn't here, so he can't argue with my opinion. Yay!
I feel like you'd agree for once, hopefully.
No, we won't.
You'll find something.
I guarantee. Yeah.
Right. This is going for a great stuff.
Yeah, let's yeah, we should probably talk about the movie, I guess.
Nah, I don't want to talk about it. It's taking up too much space. From what everyone saw of it, what's your expectation? Like, what were you all expecting?
Having not actually seen this movie, this was one of my gambits. How was it I phrased it in the Resident Evil video? I said early 2000s horror has this like weird editing to it.
A neon horror.
Yeah, neon horror. This kind of flashing lights, nightmare-y, post-Hellraiser type thing. That was about all I really knew going into 13 Ghosts, is that it had that going for it, and that I love Matthew Lillard, so
Yeah.
there was a roll of the dice.
I knew it had Matthew Lillard in it. I watched it like when it first, when I was like 10, and I've apparently blanked every single thing about it, apart from the fact Matthew Lillard was in it.
Oh, we just learned Matthew Lillard was in it.
And for those who don't know, Matthew Lillard, real cult movie legend at this stage.
He's an OG.
Serial killer. King of Nine Axe. Hackers.
Yes. Also, Stu from Scream, Shaggy, Scooby-Doo.
I don't actually Stu from Scream. I look like an idiot now. Oh. Cut
Yeah.
back. Yeah, that's it. Stu from Scream. I'm smart.
Like, I went into this movie like really scared, to be honest. Like genuinely, because I asked Nathan a little bit about it, and he said, "Yeah, it's a horror movie," and I'm like, I don't do well with horror movies. I really don't. So like halfway through the movie, I'm like, oh, it's gonna come out any second now. Yeah, next thing I know, the credits are rolling. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's start there. Nothing scary happens in this movie.
Nothing.
Like what?
Nothing. It's like you watch it, and like as someone who's genuinely scared of horror movies, like I cannot watch them without having like a friend to hug nearby. So watching this, I was really like tense up for the entire movie, right? And at the end, I was disappointed. I was genuinely I wanted to get scared. I was ripped off.
The scariest part is the blood truck at the start with the graphics.
Oh
Yeah.
Just I looked at it, oh, that's ugly.
The concept of blood truck isn't bad though. I like blood truck.
Genius. If you're like fighting vampires, that's genius.
Yeah.
Can we quickly mention something here? 11 minutes into the movie, it finally does this like thing where it tells you who's all there, and like who's all acting in it, who's producing it.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just take a moment to realize that that entire section is 3 minutes long, but feels like a half an hour?
Yeah. Also, the ugliest opening credit sequence.
Ugliest.
To be truthful, I skipped it.
Oh.
It's just like, no, boring shit.
Point choice was terrible.
And
I watched it for what felt like 10 minutes. I was like, it's been a minute. Shut the.
And that whole section does last for just over 3 minutes, and I counted that today, and I swear when I watched it when I did, I felt like I was watching that entire camera spinning around section for genuine 10-30 minutes. It was wild.
Yeah.
It's okay for Ty though, because they do decide to show that exact shot all over again at the end of the movie.
Exactly.
In case you forgot.
Actually, Netflix didn't show me the end credits.
Actually, wait. No, you're right. It didn't. It
No.
doesn't. It takes out.
It's a real in and out, yeah.
Suggestions. It kicks you out and shows you suggestions. I'm like, oh. So like I pressed along to like skip through, see if there was like an end credit scene. It took me to some random TV show, so I pressed back and it went play. I went, here.
Netflix knows you don't want to stay here. Like,
yeah, I rated it and then went to sleep.
Oh, like I can easily say I had a nightmare when I went to sleep that night. That I was trapped in that house. Just like being in that area, just in that whole scene, just scares me.
That house, right? I have thoughts on the house.
It's a murder house.
I love a good murder house movie.
Straight up murder house.
Points for murder house. We talked about this literally last episode. I love a murder house.
Yeah. You love a murder house.
I don't think I've seen very few. Yeah, any movie gets immediately elevated by just the when the house is the villain. Fantastic. One major point against this particular murder house, right? They rock up. They think they've inherited this house because the guy's dead. At least we think he's dead at this point. Yeah, he's allegedly dead.
Allegedly.
Allegedly dead is a funny phrase. They rock up, and then Shannon Elizabeth. Did you say her name?
Shannon Elizabeth. Yeah.
Shannon Elizabeth is like, look at this. It's the most beautiful house. Like, that is the ugliest house I've ever seen.
You go.
I don't know what to say. Like we live in Scotland. We've seen our share fair of ugly houses out there.
Yep.
And this was horrific.
It looks like a house on Grand Designs that went
Yeah.
way over budget. Like,
Yeah, like the whole term as well. Like, don't throw stones when you live in a glass house or something.
yeah,
Like, like I just want everything to break in that house just as a funny scene. But it never,
that would have
get
been
the-
great.
it never
Do you
happened.
get the Hellraiser vibes?
No.
They're
You know when
doing
the house is
Hellraiser.
actually shifting. I'm
Oh,
like,
wait, yeah, to be fair, yeah.
so
Mhm.
fucking dumb. No, but it honestly looks like a bunch of drunk teenagers who just went in and drew shit on the wall.
It's what I build in Minecraft. Seriously.
Their protection spells. Fuck
Yeah, there's
off,
spells.
dude. Spells. And there's more if you put the glasses on.
Yeah.
That's all.
Can we point out that Cyrus, the main evil guy,
Yeah.
he was just
Mhm.
he was just a fraud. He was just a fraud. He faked his own death to not pay his workers. That's the only
That's a
reason.
good point. He owed Matthew Lillard so much money, and he's just like, nah.
Right, and he was talking about how he's gonna have so much money after this. He's not gonna have any issues
Yeah.
in the starting scene, right? And all of a sudden, like, he fakes his own death. He has all this money. He just didn't pay his workers.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
pay your little ghost hunting buddy.
Yeah.
Also, can I ask another thing about the house? Do you ever realize the front door key just pisses off?
It never comes
Doesn't
back.
take it back out again.
It just gets gone.
I
Disappears.
only-
I'm like,
I only noticed that now because I was more distracted how Bobby suddenly had a razor scooter.
Wait, what? Oh wait, yeah. He didn't
That's
come.
like they walk in the door, he's just on a scooter now.
he had a scooter.
And then that disappears too.
Yeah.
Oh, he drops it.
I am so glad Bobby disappears for the majority of the movie because I hated Bobby.
Dropped after following the creepy little child's voice down the stairs, which everyone knows you don't do. Everyone knows this.
Oh, I've never
Bobby,
seen a
come and
movie.
play. Nope.
I've never seen a movie so bold to just pretend it's The Shining halfway through.
Almost.
Oh, yeah, the Hellraiser ripoffs were like that's
Yeah.
bad enough, but don't touch The Shining.
This movie
I
tried
think
to.
I'm not gonna notice.
This movie tried to do so much. It had love, betrayal, horror, action. It had everything. It just didn't do it well.
A lot of it, genuinely, it may be a controversial statement, but give me a second to explain myself. A lot of very good ideas,
Yeah.
just way too many of them.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I
Like,
agree with that.
Nothing is fleshed out enough to be like, yeah. There's like 4 or 5 decent movies in here, all battling to be the movie
Yeah.
we're watching,
Yeah.
and yeah, none of them work yet.
If this was just like ghosts have got out and they're haunting you, then yeah, solid movie.
Mhm.
Also,
Like-
the ghosts.
I've got some words to say about them.
Can we just for a minute?
We can get on the ghost, yeah.
The jackal is a kinky bitch. Or she only attacked Shannon Elizabeth's top.
Yeah,
Testicular area.
if you needed a reminder that this movie came out in 2001, and 2001 was just a worst time
Like we
for,
haven't
for
already seen
media.
Yeah.
Shannon Elizabeth almost naked in a film that came out 2 years prior to
Well,
this.
that was it. I had a real moment when I saw Shannon Elizabeth in it. I was like, oh, cool. Like, breaking out of that, like, quite misogynistic typecasting she had at the time. Good. No, we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. Can I,
Of course.
We gotta rip her bra so it, and then the ghost chick, the girl, the
The
naked one.
angry princess. The angry princess.
You see, I thought it was the Prince of Jealousy. Okay, never mind me. Yeah.
I have it. I have the list open in front of me.
I see. Come.
Right. I got how she died. I
Mhm.
don't understand why she's got so many cuts over her though.
Yeah, that's not how you do that.
It's definitive when at the bathroom scene. It's definitive she cut her wrist. Sorry, right.
John Wick
also,
Chapter 2. Yeah, like.
She cut her wrist. Just one. Just one wrist to slit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she was
Right, so
dumb.
that-
Like she didn't know where to cut. She just did multiple places all at once.
Decided to cut her fake tit, like for reasons.
I think it might be an implied like murder
Maybe.
disguised as suicide or something. Because first piece of trivia for the day, boys.
Mm?
Come to the famous segment. Nathan put too much effort into watching a crap movie.
As usual.
Yes, as always.
You kind of
I
have to, because we just
I
here to
have-
talk about it.
I have found out, and then on my point of like, there's some really interesting stuff in here that just doesn't come together. There is if you get the original DVD release of this movie,
Which I never will.
there is a like bonus feature thing, like little documentary about the ghosts, about the 12 ghosts,
Oh, okay.
that explains their backstory, like who they were when they were alive, how
Oh.
they died, all that kind of stuff, right? Which explains their character designs, which are all really unique and interesting.
Yeah.
My point here is that sounds like a good movie.
Yeah.
Even if you don't explain their backstories, how about you like show the ghosts instead of having them flash on the screen and then off the screen and then
man.
on the screen and then off the screen?
Yeah, the people
For the-
the people who wrote this
Worst.
movie do not believe in epilepsy. Right?
Yeah.
They don't believe it. They claim it's not a thing. But like, can we also like realize how much screen time the Angry Princess got compared to all the other
Yeah.
ghosts?
She was first released, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You almost get like hints to her backstory. You know which room was hers and everything. That's cool. Everyone else is just like, nah, big punch man.
Or
Like-
the jackal, which is a girl with a head and a cape.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean big punch woman.
No, a big scratch woman.
Big scratch,
Yeah.
scratchy one. Yeah. But they
Um,
all look so like I love their character designs. Like particularly the jackals is very interesting. The Torn Prince as this like James Dean thing going on.
Yeah, Grease movie.
Yeah, but like
do you know what I reckon? Do you know what I reckon happened? I reckon Thorn Prince died in a car accident,
I think it
and
because
then the princess killed herself.
half his face is like, if I'm remembering correctly, half his
Yes, I
face is
reckon.
like he's been dragged along the ground. Yeah.
Like a bike accident. Oh, a bike accident.
Yeah. Like he got
then-
on his bike because he found out his girlfriend was cheating on him. He's angry and all that, and that's why he's still here.
And she felt bad about like her boyfriend dying because she was banging the next man, so she killed herself.
See, we've made a better movie in the time we've spent. We have spent just over
Okay.
like 20 minutes talking about this. We've made a better movie.
The backstory I don't want to find out is the fucking massive baby
Right.
and the mum.
Yeah, the great child and the dire mother.
You see,
No, thank you.
right? No, see, if those ghosts were by themselves, that could genuinely be like a terrifying movie. If it was just them
Yeah.
two, that could be terrifying, right? But we see them
Have
like
the
3
mum walking
times.
towards you.
Yeah, like
Ugh.
we see them like 3 times, all right, and
Yeah.
they do nothing. They're just there.
The ghosts don't have. Yeah, the ghosts. None of the ghosts have like the right amount of screen time to have any real presence, which is. It's the poor visual effects department on this team. Like the makeup and costuming department.
Done good. They done
put-
really
They
good.
they put their heart and soul into this. Imagine you worked for the costume department of 13 Ghosts and you're at the premiere and you're like, oh, so half the shots of the ghosts are the wall instead of the ghost.
No. You see,
Thanks for that.
I would feel more bad about the people who had to put the makeup on, like the people who
Yeah.
had to wear it. It's like, oh, I'm featured in
Yeah.
this movie. Oh, I'm a wall.
Yeah. Oh,
Like-
we're just not gonna show any of that, I guess.
Yeah. Like I feel like
Amazing.
this movie was meant to be a lot longer. All right, but they had to cut it. They had to cut it somewhere, and that's why.
Did you reach that like little 90-minute?
Yeah, and
length.
and I definitely feel like they had so much more plans for all the other ghosts because they set them up at the start. Like at the start of going into the mansion, they did set up all the ghosts. You saw all of them. Then, like 10 minutes later, you just get sexy lady for the entire movie. It's like, oh,
Stuz, we need to have a chat if you think she was sexy, mate.
okay. I'm saying sexy lady in a like broad manner here. Like I was annoyed that she got so much screen time. I was like, I do not want to look at boobs for this amount of time.
The bit where it could have like saved itself for a bit of horror is when Shannon Elizabeth is just looking in the mirror and she's there. I'm like, oh yeah, shit could go down now. Oh, cool.
There isn't like because of the we haven't really talked about the glasses gimmick yet. We'll get onto that in a minute. But because of that, where Shannon Elizabeth can't see like the go, it's like a neat little like poetic others type thing where we know there's a threat, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
But I like, but again, the second that scene is over, that concept is abandoned because we're immediately going to tell every character about the ghosts in the glasses.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what's the point?
I mean, like, in a sense of it makes somewhat sense because, like, obviously you want to tell everyone that you need to wear these glasses so you can see these ghosts. Like, yeah, it makes sense. But for a movie standpoint, no. We want them to like, you know, not to see them.
Yeah. The glasses are also a terrible idea.
Oh, awful! Like honestly, it would have made more sense if they carried like a wee hand mirror around them. So I would appreciate that more.
Let me explain the glasses.
Okay.
Right? There's good reason why they did this. Let me introduce you guys to. Let me get the company's name right. Dark Castle Entertainment, right? The studio behind 13 Ghosts.
I was worried you were going to say Google Glasses.
Yeah, this is actually an ad for Google Glass the whole time.
Yeah, the first man invested into Google Glasses. You see ghosts.
So, Dark Castle Entertainment are co-owned by Robert Zemeckis, the visual effects pioneer behind Back to the Future and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, etc., etc. As a little horror company, right? Their goal was to remake the movies of William Castle. No, William Castle was a filmmaker in like the 40s, I believe. Famed because all his films had a gimmick. But the gimmick was to do with the theater, not the film.
Right.
So, there was one film where I think it's called like The Tingler or something like that, and every time they were on screen, the chair would give the audience an electric shock. That's my favorite one. The first film, because it's so dumb. First film Dark Castle did was the House on the Haunted Hill. Sorry, the original House on Haunted Hill, because there's like a floating skeleton in that original movie, right? They had a float. They based the movie around a skeleton. 13 Ghosts, the original 13 Ghosts. The gimmick was every audience member got handed a pair of 3D glasses.
Oh.
And was told, if you wear the glasses, you can see the horror. With the gimmick of like, are you brave enough to keep the glasses on?
Okay, no, that's smart.
You know, build fear up. So the glasses in this movie that help you see the ghosts are supposed to be a homage to the film, the original movie.
Right. Okay. No, that's smart.
Yeah.
Like that. Not the idea that they wore the glasses for homage to the other movie. The idea of like, you know, hey, wear these glasses and you get to see the horror. Like,
Yeah.
that's genius.
Yeah, he was a genuine like he was less a filmmaker, more a like circus style showman.
Definitely.
But Dark Castle Entertainment. Do you want to know how many William Castle movies they remade? 2. They remade House on Haunted Hill and 13 Ghosts.
Okay.
Neither of which did well.
Can't imagine
They
why.
were on to remake House of Wax, which is a another classic horror movie from a different studio, and then just started making their own movies from there on. Because it wasn't working at all.
Did they improve? Like, as soon as they started making their own movies, did it improve?
Well, their next films were Ghost Ship and Gothica, so not exactly.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
But they did eventually make Orphan, and Orphan is fine.
Okay, all right.
I didn't see Orphan.
Orphan, people like Orphan.
Okay,
You like Orphan?
Like Orphan, yeah. I'm just saying in general, it's a movie people like. It's an improvement because it's not as terrible as Ghost Ship.
that's really interesting. Like, I'm learning so much from this.
I do my research.
Clearly, you do. You put too much time into this.
Yeah, I do. That's my gimmick.
How many times did you watch this movie?
I only watched it through once.
Okay.
I did watch some video essays and stuff around it, and read through the IMDb page and whatever.
Can I quickly mention something? You know how Kathy, the daughter of Arthur,
Mm-hmm.
you know how she goes into the ruined princess's room,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? And like she starts washing her face.
Yeah.
Who does that? Smiling 3 times over. She does it 3 times in slow motion. Oh wait, the slow motion.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, who stands in front of a mirror and fixes the same bit of hair over and over again?
I was going to mention that too, but like the whole idea, I don't think Kathy actually is a woman. Right?
Kathy's an NPC.
Kathy is a Skyrim NPC. Oblivion
Okay.
standards right there.
I have
You don't know what
I have
to
answers for both of your stuff. Basically, she fixes. There was another person that fixes the same piece of hair over and over again. That's Ted Mosby. Secondly, she stood in front of the bath to wash her face because she was in a Maybelline advert.
So, just to round off the trifecta of bizarre things she does in that scene, right? So she's fixing her hair in the mirror in front of the sink, right?
Well, the creepy bitch is behind her. Yeah.
Yeah. Then she goes over to the bathtub,
Well, the creepy
And
bitch is in
uses-
the bathtub.
uses the tap in the bath
Very.
to splash water on her face. She was standing at the sink.
She was standing at a working faucet. Like, what the hell? Like,
Just use the sink.
I don't know how bad things were in their previous house. No, not the one that didn't. No, not the one that got burned down. The one that they got moved into after the house
Yeah.
burned.
That tiny one that's maybe just the kitchen.
It looks like it's just no. It's not even a kitchen. It's a bathroom that has a table in it.
Yeah.
Right.
She did literally turn around and be like, "Oh, well, everybody's getting their own bathroom." But she just
Yeah.
had to use the tap in the
But-
bath to wash her face while her
but-
brother's like brush his teeth or something. I don't know.
Surely the other way. It's like, if you live in a tiny house, right? And you have to use the wrong tap, you're using the sink, right?
Yeah.
Because the bathtub isn't. I've never went into a bathroom with a bathtub and no sink before.
Yeah. I mean, the whole idea that she like moves away from a perfectly fine tap to like one where she has to sit down. And
I know
start using
that. I know that for the horror, she needs to be by the bathtub because the
That's what I
bathtub's
was gonna
filled
say.
with blood. But it makes me irrationally angry that she would do that.
Like, you see, the whole idea of her doing it didn't make me angry. It's the fact that it was all in slow motion.
Yeah.
Like, it repeats itself so many times, like the same shot over and over again. And it's like, okay, I get it. She's washed her face. Oh, she's washing her face again.
It looks like the old Coke Zero ads. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, like, can we just appreciate how many slow motion segments are in that movie? Like, I thought like it was going like they're going to take out pistols and start shooting in slow motion for the entire movie. I thought that was going to happen, but it didn't. It was just a shame because I would have rather watched that than watch a kid walk down a hallway for half an hour.
But that's it. The boring stuff is in slow motion.
All the board,
Yeah.
like,
But then all the interesting stuff is double speed.
yeah, it's like,
Swap that over.
yeah, like,
But that's what, think that's what got me. I was just too bored to even appreciate the twist ending.
Oh, the twist is so bad though.
Both of them though.
Both, yeah. Oh, they do it rapid fire.
Yeah, like
Uh,
I have that twist. The twist makes no sense.
Twist gave me whiplash, dude.
Like what the hell? Like I did not understand. Like so, it's Ghost like a thing everyone knows about in this movie. That's what I originally thought. Ghost is something that everyone accepts. Then we meet the like Arthur and all that and his family. They don't believe they think of, oh wait, if Ghost doesn't make sense. They say it again. Ghosts. Oh no. It's like it was such a weird like moment of me thinking, oh wait, so Ghost is like a commonly accepted thing in this entire movie. Then it turns out it wasn't. Then it turns out it was again.
To Matthew Lillard, who is psychic
Yeah.
reasons, he perhaps extra. What do you call them? What do you call them? Oh, that's aliens.
Like
I can't remember what he calls them. Yeah, it's the fancy word for it.
yeah. There's so many
like,
ghost things in here. We should learn.
they're
What
fine.
the
We'll go simple. Ghosts. Like you should have went simple for the start, dude.
They were calling them ghosts when it was just people that knew what they were in the room.
Yeah.
Like when they're trapping the big smash,
The
big
Juggernaut.
smashy
Juggernaut.
Carman.
Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Juggernaut.
When they're trapping him, everyone's calling them ghosts.
Everyone. Like they're
But then he's like, here's a guy that doesn't know anything about ghosts. Now it's time for the technical language.
extraterrestrial life. Like, oh, okay.
You ever heard of a wraith? No, just say ghost. Just say ghost. You see
Yeah, I've heard of a
Casper.
wraith. It's a ship in Halo.
Like, yeah, they
Sounds so bad.
So yeah, can we talk about how Matthew Lillard is the best part of this movie?
honestly,
Yeah.
I was going to say that my favorite character is Dennis, like Matthew Lillard,
Absolutely.
right?
100%.
And it was not he was the movie was also a little bit of a comedy, and he was by far the funniest thing in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Right?
He is in a different movie.
He played that.
Scream.
Yeah.
He's just doing Scream again, yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole time Dennis was on the screen, it just made the movie that much better. Right? It actually made watching this movie like worth it, because there's a genuine moment when I started like laughing. Is when Maggie was like, "Wait, there's ghosts in the basement." Yeah, there's ghosts in the basement. If they're next door, I wouldn't fucking care. I was like, that was funny.
Great.
That was funny, right? And it was so good. I loved it. I just loved everything with Dennis and Maggie in it. Maggie was also like my second character I liked.
It
When
did
she
make
turned
me...
around like, did the lawyer split? I went, ha.
Yeah.
This is a great one.
I genuinely, yeah, Matthew Lillard's movie makes me like. It makes me wonder if you're making this movie, same cast, right, same premise, but intentionally funny.
Yeah, like this would have been such a better horror movie.
That's a great
comedy movie. This would have been
like-
such a better comedy than it was a horror. Because I'm looking at it right now. It says horror/thriller, and it wasn't either of those. It was just a mess.
Yeah.
I'm literally, do you know what I'm doing? I'm getting Shannon Elizabeth to be how she is in the Scary Movie films. I'm getting the dad to be like he is in the Spy Kid movies, and I'm getting the little kid to be fucking Re-Kid from Josh Dot videos. That's what I'm doing.
He goes in the basement just yelling and screaming.
Yeah. Legitimately, because I guarantee his dad would have heard him.
Yeah, like they say, you can't talk through these windows. They're bulletproof,
It's
shatterproof. Like okay, that makes so much sense. But wait, isn't like there are multiple doorways that are just completely open?
Also corridors with corners.
Yeah, and
so you
sound
can travel
travel.
through.
Yeah, but But maybe the walls are changing or they're not. I don't know.
Like, see, I thought that was going to happen when we first saw the house. Now, I thought it was going to be an ever changing house. The house
Yeah.
changes shape as time goes. No, it's the same exact layout, right? I can't imagine this house being that big when you really think about it, because we only saw one small side of it on the outside, right? And it really does not look like big of a house, but the basement is huge. Like, it went on forever. But when the entire house explodes at the end, you see it's just like a wee box.
Yeah, it looks a lot smaller at the end of the movie than it did at the start of the movie.
They tried to do a Doctor Who on this, and it was just so annoying. It's like, this house is tiny.
I didn't notice that until you said that right there, because I was definitely focused on the fact that the happy ending of this movie involves letting 11 incredibly dangerous, violent ghosts to just kind of go away.
Okay, I have to stop you there, right? We only know 4 of them being incredibly violent. The rest of them we didn't get to see much of.
Well, that's true. But Matthew Lillard did say, he was like, any ghost who dies under violent circumstances, all they know is violence.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair
Which
enough.
feels like a bit of a plot point that is just thrown in there to give an excuse for the rest of the movie to happen,
But so if they died under violent circumstances, all they know is violence. How that does not explain it at all, because we have the mum that's there.
yeah, and
Like,
she's fine.
She's trying to help. It's like I don't understand that at all. Like, she's for the entire time just trying to help.
I think it's like the princess, she killed herself. I don't know about the prince. Like, that doesn't make sense. The prince kind of screws my theory. Like, they're all tortured.
Yeah, they all kind of look tortured and
The
stuff.
mum wasn't tortured.
No, she died in a fire.
Yeah, she died in fire, so
It doesn't
Well,
work,
well,
basically.
She didn't
It just
die
doesn't-
in the fire. She didn't die in the fire. She did die in hospital. Maybe she was she was in great amount of pain, a violent amount of pain, so to say, and that's how she got captured by Cyrus. It made no sense. Like,
I do want to
that's the
appreciate.
Black Zodiac.
Yeah. So the character that explains this to us, though, right? Dennis, played by Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should take everything he says as something that makes sense, because this is also a man who was wearing a full suit under a boiler suit. And the second people know, not even everyone, just one guy notices or finds out he's not the lighting guy or whatever, just takes the boiler suit off and expects it to be perfectly acceptable to everyone that he's just wearing a suit now. Why?
You see, I noticed he had the jumper on, the suit jacket, but you see, I thought he took that from the lawyer, like the dead lawyer.
Did you see him just take his, like, he's having a conversation when the lawyer disappears with the dad, whatever his name was, Arthur, and he's just taking his boiler suit off, and he's just wearing what he wears the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
It's he looks good. Like,
Yeah, give credit where credit's due.
But I don't know if that's the first thing I'd think of if I was trying to, like, trick a family into,
Yeah.
like, letting me enter
We
their
got a
house and be
vest.
like,
Maybe
well,
I'll white vest.
I need to also look good if they figure it out, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole idea behind it was, like, weird, but at the same time, like, I have to appreciate, like, Matthew Lillard's work, because he did do a good job. His acting was actually somewhat solid.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, he's a fantastic actor.
Like I said, he was the best part of the film.
yeah, best part of the film. Like, he made this movie bearable for me. So I'm somewhat glad I watched it. Somewhat.
It does remind me, so what you said, Matthew Lillard there. So Matthew Lillard always says in Scream, another fantastic performance. There is a great, tell me that, who's the other guy in Scream?
Skeet Ulrich.
Thank you. Yeah. there's a great interview with Skeet Ulrich where he says that while filming Scream, he thought Matthew Lillard wasn't taking it seriously. And at one point he went to Wes Craven and said, he's ruining the film.
Okay.
And it wasn't until he saw the finished product, he was like, oh, that's what he's doing. Like, this movie is so much better because he wasn't taking it seriously. Like, that's
Oh,
the
Scream's
final
great.
piece to Scream. I think at some point post Scream, Matthew Lillard started just getting hired for movies that just weren't quite coming together yet. So people could be like, you just do what you did for Scream and fix our movie. Like,
Yeah, it's like as I said, he does such a great job in this movie, and it's a shame
It's-
because he's like surrounded by absolute like people who cannot act. Like as I said,
Again-
Rad Digger, like from who played as Maggie,
Mhm.
like them two were good. Like them two were good, I thought at least. Everyone else, no, I hate every single one. I especially hated Bobby. Right?
oh yeah.
I hated that child. Like,
I genuinely do think if you wrote this movie as a comedy and kept the cast exactly the same,
yeah, it would have been so much
it'd be fantastic.
best movie ever. But it didn't.
It's like they forgot to put jokes in it. That was
Yeah,
that's what happened here.
I was gonna say this. Like, it's like they made a horror movie, but they left out they forgot all the horror parts. Like,
Yeah.
they filmed everything else, and then, like they released it. So they're sitting there watching it. Oh shit, we forgot the jump scares. Like, it's like
I thought you were doing that.
what? No, it's like it's sharing one of those things. Because as I said, I didn't like watching the whole movie. I did not get scared one little bit. Like,
No.
I was more disturbed by the I said the ghosts. The ghosts were amazing. They looked awesome. I was more disturbed by them, and I was like the whole scared thing. No, I wasn't scared of it at all.
Here's another. I've got more trivia on this movie than I thought I did. Here's a good one, right?
Huh?
The Fangora Chainsaw Awards, okay? Little award show about
Okay.
horror. Yeah, horror and thriller movies. We won since 1982. In 2002, they awarded 13 Ghosts the Chainsaw Award for Best Makeup or Creature Effects.
Definitely
well-
well deserved.
Well deserved, yeah. That same year,
There we go.
It was
I waiting
nominated-
on this.
it was nominated for Worst Film, also at the Chainsaw Awards.
That's a slap in the face. Like, they're all there, they're all happy. It's like, look, we got the best makeup and all that. And you also got the best for the worst movie. What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's a slap in the
But
face.
that just sums up this movie. Like, incredible creature effects, but also, how is the torso a character trait?
You got good abs,
No,
man.
That's not a personality or a type of. That's just a guy.
That's a headless guy.
It's just a guy with no head. That's not a thing.
Right? It's like I like that. I did like his character though. Like I was genuinely curious about what happened to him. Like why is he still going? How dangerous
Yeah.
is he as well? Because obviously he can't do anything.
It's just a torso.
He's just a torso.
I just love that the book's like, you need these types of like ghosts, right? Hey, these 12. And number 2 is the torso.
It's it was something. I won't lie. I said I got like the whole idea behind it was great, but the whole execution terrible.
I'm on the wiki.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now as well.
So the entry for the torso just says the second ghost in the Black Zodiac. The torso is missing his legs. Yeah, thanks for that.
I felt. You see, for me, I on the wiki I'm on, it says the torso. Jimmy the Gambler, Gambino, was a gambler in the early 1900s. That's what I have.
Ah,
Let me send you it. I'll send you it, and you can have a better read through it because obviously
see-
from my experience, we know I can't read very well.
So they genuinely wrote like interesting, at least, well, I don't know if they're that interesting, but they made backstories for these things.
Yeah, like we know
Someone cared.
we know the Torso, who was a gambler, who was named Jimmy. Yeah, and we got the Juggernaut. He's got a huge backstory. I think because he got the most screen time, and he was like in the beginning of the movie. He died by SWAT apparently. Let's find out what the torn prints.
This is a movie. Make a movie about F. Murray Abraham finding the ghost.
Who's that?
That'd be cool.
Oh my god. Yo, Ty, you're correct. The prince did die in a car crash from the looks of it.
Look at that.
Yeah, Royce
Yes.
died
Caused
in
by
an
cut brake
accident
lines.
caused by cut brake lines. Like, there's backstory. There's genuine backstory behind all this. And it looks like we would not have known what it was unless we had the DVD. I'm so glad we
Yeah.
don't have the DVD, but still.
I want to get it now. I want to watch this like thing.
Oh, by the way, the Torso was also killed by the mafia and they wrapped him up in cellophane. Yeah.
That's actually quite creative.
Yeah, like
I've never heard that before.
the ghost in the movie has more story than the movie itself.
It does have a genuinely fantastic poster.
The poster, yeah, like that. The poster made me very worried. Looking at the poster, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm going to shit myself."
That is a nice poster. It's it's got all the screen grabs of all the ghosts.
Yeah, and like the
look-
whole idea, what really reinforced the whole idea that the house was going to move is how like all how the face is all like poking out with certain characters.
Mhm.
I thought like, okay, that's gonna be the idea of stuff's gonna be moving. The house is gonna start moving. The house doesn't move. The house stays still. And
This poster sums up the like premise of the movie better than the movie did.
And can I just point out how much like that all like that this whole poster reminds me of Cabin in the Woods. Can I just say that?
It does. It is very Cabin actually.
Yeah, like this like obviously the whole theme of it, not really, but like the whole like art style and like how it's done. It just reminds me of Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, but there's one main difference. Cabin in the Woods is good.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. And funny.
And funny, yeah.
Hey, by the way, I linked the our YouTube video to the Ghost Getting Explained.
Thank you. I will check
I
that
like
out when we're done recording.
I will not. I didn't want you wasting your money on buying a DVD of
I
this.
will in case there's more content in it.
Yeah, I
That's
think
true, actually, yeah.
I feel like that's the only reason why you would actual think about getting it. Like
That's why I do these things.
and do a follow up.
Yeah.
Right. As a part, we're making a series out of this.
So that's for our listeners. If I make no more 13 Ghosts content ever, that means that video is very boring.
If you come to my channel, I will make all the content on it.
It would genuinely be hilarious to me if your channel just had a random breakdown of the 13 Ghosts in it.
I mean,
It's just gameplay video, 13 Ghosts, gameplay video.
Yeah, it went through like it's gone through a restage at the moment where it's just all funny moments, and I actually have like a moment where it's actually quite serious and me talking about a game that I love. It's like, so maybe this channel is going places, man.
If you follow up with a video essay about the backstories of the ghosts from 13 Ghosts, man.
Now I need to get a DVD. Buy me the DVD. No, better yet, buy the DVD and I'll come to you and we'll watch it.
So let's be honest. Out of all of us, I'm the one that's gonna end up having this DVD.
Yeah, you're more. I'm not gonna waste money. Like I'm not gonna disgrace my apartment by having that anywhere near this area.
You seen the garbage I own?
I've seen it. Yes, I've been in your house.
This show is just an elaborate excuse for me to continue my buying garbage habit.
It's giving you reason to say, hey, see, this garbage was worth it. See what I made out of it.
It's research.
Yeah,
That's
research.
why I have this. That's why I have 2 copies of Godfather 3. Leave me alone.
I wish you never talked to me for another year, then invite me to actually watch another movie. And that's not this.
You are a great replacement for Josh.
Yeah.
Exactly how every episode ends. Oh, that's hilarious.
Honestly,
Good to have you here, Stuz.
I'm glad to be here. This is fun.
Right, boys.
Hmm.
I don't know why I said that like that.
Boys.
Before we wrap up, we've got some important business to take care of. It's question time.
Hey.
Ooh.
Hi, Hennessy.
Yes.
Sorry. I need to get myself in the
Laughed
mindset.
at my name, you dick.
No, I'm trying to get. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at the question because I need to get myself in the mindset of someone who can ask this question seriously.
Like
Quit laughing.
right now, he's in a business suit, and so are you, and you're at a wee small table with coffee on the other end of it, and he's got like a clipboard of the question he's going to answer. Yes, you.
Okay. Let's try this again. Ty Hennessy,
Yes.
is this a good movie?
God, no. I rated this on Letterboxd and I gave it a star.
Oh, I
I'm going
think
to
I
give
gave
it
it 1.5.
I was going to give it half a star, then Matthew Lillard bumped up to 1. No,
VR
it's an awful
okay.
movie.
VRStuz, is this a good movie?
Absolutely not. Did not enjoy it. I only
think-
enjoyed Matthew Leonard. That's the only thing I enjoyed about it.
Understandable.
Here's the question.
Those
Should
would be,
we
would you
recommend
recommend
the
this
movie?
movie? Yeah.
I
I'm also
Nathan, is this
sorry,
a good
thank you.
movie?
I'm also going with no on this one. For the reason of everything we said earlier.
Yeah.
To tie a question there, like, would I recommend the movie? Yeah, I recommend to the people who I hate. Like, freaking.
Wait, Jack, if you're listening, you should watch 13 Ghosts, man. You'll love it. I'm kidding.
But
I don't hate you. I just strongly dislike you.
I love that you do this joke a lot. I'm gonna just quickly look on the channel. When was the last time Jack was on this show?
There was that one time and he's never showed up back.
It
Oh.
was one time, and it was before we. It was the other
It was
show.
what now? Yeah, it was what
Yeah.
now? Oh,
So it's been what, 2 years since Jack's been on the show? Just when stuff happened, yeah.
Yes, I am aware.
I'm throwing shade at him. What about it?
Jack was last on the show on the 8th of February 2020.
Right.
And you're still posting him on pod consistently.
Because he listens.
Don't say.
This is why he's not come
He knows he's a fan of the channel.
Yeah, he listens.
He is, yeah. Right. Second half of the question. The important
Yeah.
part here. It's the
Yeah.
the namesake segment of the show. Ty Hennessy, is this a
Yeah.
midnight screening?
Right. I'm kind of torn. Because I did watch this at midnight. Usually when I'm playing football on a Saturday, I usually try and stay up all night. I instantly went to sleep after I watched this. So I'm torn. So I'm going to go no.
Okay.
It makes you want to go to sleep.
Stuz,
Yes.
is this a midnight screening?
If I had beer and friends, I could watch it, but it has to be like with people who know what a bad movie is, you know, like and they're more than happy to make fun of it, and we'll all make jokes about it for the entire time. Yes, I could watch it. It's a good movie for that.
Okay. We're all tied up in the
So Nathan, tiebreaker. Is this a midnight screening?
Yeah, see, I've been thinking about this because for those of you listening who don't know, and I'm likely Stuz, origin of the show uh is based on me and our usual co-host Josh, who's unfortunately not here today. We used to watch movies a lot together and find specifically terrible horror movies.
Zombievers.
Well, yeah, that's where Zombievers came from, which has a previous
Oh, the
topic.
Babadook.
What else we do? Bye Bye Man.
Oh, bye bye man.
Bye Bye Man, Stuffy from Hell. We double billed those two together, which was a fantastic night. 13 Ghosts, outside of Zombievers, I think is the closest we've gotten on the show to the sort of original pre-podcast run of movies we did. So I have to go with a yes here. I think this would make a pretty great midnight screening. I think this would be a fun day because it does just enough right to make everything it does wrong so much funnier.
Yeah, and as we have said multiple times for this entire thing, Matthew Lillard just did it. He did it well,
Mhm.
and right. And I genuinely think if you're there with friends, you're all having a nice wee drink, and you've got pizza around you, and you've got this movie, life ain't bad. You've got something to make fun of, and nothing's better than making fun of someone else's work.
All that's left, boys, is I want to thank all our great listeners for putting up with us. It's so nice of you. If you're listening on Spotify, do know that you can subscribe to the Nathan's Username YouTube channel. All episodes of this show will be up there, plus all my other weird rambling nonsense. So if you're up for that, also follow me on Twitch and Instagram and Twitter, because
Hold on.
not a lot of you do.
I'm so sorry, but Twitch, what?
Yeah, he's doing Twitch now.
Yeah, we're moving over to Twitch a little bit.
Is it like a just chatting thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm recording some of my YouTube videos on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanna stop by and impact on how my videos turn out,
I never knew that.
stop
That
by. Yeah, do that. Also, of course, thank you as always to Ty Hennessy for being here. His links will also be in the description.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much to VRStuz for subbing in last minute. Uh, all of his links will also be in the description. Subscribe to him on YouTube, follow him on Twitch, Twitter. I'll put your Twitter in the description as well.
I have a Twitter. I forgot.
He's in. You'll find him. He's doing stuff.
As I took my last video I made got over 250 views, so I'm really
Yeah,
chuffed about
go
it.
watch it. It's a good video. It's a good video. What's the next thing again? The vote. To the vote. Make sure you're following
Yeah.
Nathan Aid's username on Instagram so you can vote for future episodes of the show. As always, announced at the end of the episode before next episode, we have another very special guest, 3 in a row. We'll be joined by Earl of Bagels, as he goes by online. Our good friend, Instagram animator. He does stuff. So he does pixel art and he makes cool skull sculptures out of Rubik's cubes. He's a cool guy.
Actually, his real name, if you would like a puzzle, is that another name for a type of animal. Figure it out. Put it in the comments. Ha ha ha.
Are you giving them like puzzles to the identity of our guests now?
And
I just literally clicked that one. Oh yes, yes.
and if you get it right, you get a DVD of
Chris high five.
You get a DVD of 13 Ghosts.
Get one of Nathan's copy of 8 Mile.
One of them.
We gave the other one away.
Oh,
Oh no!
So we will be checking if, and just in case we have any of the people that we know listening, commenting, we'll check.
We will buy you a copy of 13 Ghosts.
So yes, Earl of Bagels is coming on the show. We're going to be talking about animation, because that's his field. So make sure you're paying attention in the next few days on Instagram to vote between two of Hayao Miyazaki's masterworks. My Neighbor Totoro.
Miyazaki!
Yes.
I was
Just
talking about it earlier today.
talking about
I just learned Hayao
Kiyosaki.
Miyazaki's name. Yeah, to vote between My Neighbor Totoro or Spirited Away. That'll be up in the next few days. That's the show, really.
I called him Yamazaki.
So yeah, it's the show. Thanks for being
Yeah.
here. We did a podcast.
Yeah. Boo.
Woo, woo.
Hey
Yeah.
guys.
Dun, 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 dun.
Is
I
this
thought you
how?
were doing the countdown theme song.
Is this? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Is this how it
No.
ends?
Boom.
Mario out of nowhere.
Alright.
Ty, what's Mario's dungarees made out of?
Denim?
Denim.
Denim. Yeah, I was like, there's a joke here.
Oh, that's
Right,
brilliant.
let's cut it there.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop recording.